Just to jump in here, I saw Riot Act supporting Raven here in Austin, Texas, at the Lost Well, little dive bar on the east side of Austin, Texas.
Right.
And you guys fucking destroyed. It was so good.
Thank you, man.
Just to hear those old songs as well as new stuff was just exciting. You know, it's kind of like I'm a little bit of a purist, you know, I mean, but, you know, rest in peace, you know, the guys that are no longer with us anyway, and ultimately decided to, I mean, I saw the Rhett Forrester years. We can start talking about 1981 anytime you're ready. But the point, because I saw all that shit. But the point that I'm making is I saw the new version of what you have going on, and it was fucking awesome. So congrats on that. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. You know, it was just like, you know, we just had the right combination of people there, and you know, I just wanted to keep it high energy, not really, you know, we lost Lou at the beginning of this project.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was like, okay, we're not going to try to recreate this thing. And that's why I just want to just keep it one guitar and just keep it raw and just, you know, just play some new music and play some of the old stuff, you know, for fans.
Yeah, we're talking about Riot Act, correct?
Right now we're talking about Riot Act, yeah.
So give us a status update. I was going to talk about that a little later on, but we're already...
we could do that.
Yeah, what is the status of Riot Act? And where can people get the album that you already put out?
Well, at all the major outlets, like Amazon and Apple, and you know, people that actually want a physical CD, you know, you can get it on Amazon. Otherwise, Apple Music and every other streaming service.
And what's the status of the band? Are you guys writing, recording, have plans for a second album, or?
Yeah, I actually do. I've been writing, so I have quite a bit of material ready. So there will be something happening very soon. We just took a few month break, a few months. You know, people doing various projects right now. So, but me, I'm busy. I'm still writing and doing stuff. So over the next few months, there'll be a lot of interesting things happening, you know, even outside of Riot Act. So
yeah,
keep tuned.
I thought it was cool. I was doing some research on Riot Act, and your singer, Don, is it Chaffin? How do you say his last name?
It's all those.
All
however you want to say it.
Let's just go with Don. We'll call him Don.
Yeah, right.
I didn't realize he sang with Dan Spitz in Red Lamb.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan from Anthrax fame.
Yep. Yes.
I guess that makes sense. All of you guys are up in New York.
Yeah. He's had quite a few projects prior to this this Riot Act. Yeah, that was one of them.
Did he work with Billy Sheehan in some capacity?
Yeah, they had a short-lived project. I think they just did a few gigs. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I heard as well.
They did a few shows, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of monster bass players, the guy you currently have in Riot Act, or at least the guy that did the debut album,
Paul.
That guy's a beast.
Oh yeah, he's insane. He's really crazy.
I got to see him live, and I was like, "What the hell is going on right now?"
I kind of say that after every show.
Yeah, right.
Like, you know, people say, "What is he doing?" I said, "I honestly don't know."
Right. Well, the thing is,
it
just
sounds
for
good.
just for cause and effect, you know, there's always the danger of someone who has the ability to play a bass like that, you know what I mean? That's kind of in danger of overplaying, if you will.
Right, sure.
Because I feel like, I don't know, let's stretch the box a little bit and say, some people think Geddy Lee might overplay, and I disagree because there's only one guitar.
Right. It's a three-piece situation. So if you look at a lot of the great three-piece bands for our history, the bass players have always been killer, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Because you have to you have to hold it down, and you also have to fill it out and make it interesting. It depends, on the bands. You look at, going way back, if you look at the Who and look at John Entwistle,
Correct.
he would just stand there and just his fingers. He was just filling out the whole thing.
Yeah, and somehow still not overplaying, Rick.
Right. And Rush's music, it's very riffy. But then you have Van Halen, which, Eddie was really the focal point. But then Michael Anthony, he was very straight ahead, simple, solid, and held it down, which was critical for Van Halen's sound.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think because if he was a riffer, and just constantly overplaying, it wouldn't have been Van Halen. It would have just been a mess.
And he's also
forces.
Right.
Yeah. He's also locking in with the drums too.
Right. That's critical. I always like bass players that lock in with the drums too.
Yeah.
So it depends on the music you're playing, really.
Well, do you think while we're sitting on this mountain here, obviously you're open to whatever. And I'm sorry, what's your bass player's name? I apologize.
Paul Ranieri.
So Paul,
yeah,
right. Mm-hmm. So obviously you're cool with what's going on because it sounds fucking awesome, and he's locking in with you guys, and you would think that when you think about I'm just vomiting this. When you think about Riot,
right,
you don't think about these busy, as like uppity of a bass player Paul actually kind of is. He's probably holding back enough, but still keeping it interesting. I like the Entwistle concept,
right?
That he's still pumping and locked in, but he's keeping it interesting for sure. He's keeping the listener on their toes.
There's no doubt. It changed when we started as a two guitar band. When Lou was in the band. It definitely changed because I remember saying to Paul, I said, it's going to be very different now, and the stuff I was writing, there's going to be more room for you to really spread out, really, and it's a totally different band now because you three-piece band, so it gives them more creativity and freedom, but it's still, like you saw it, it's still solid.
Yeah.
We have a solid drummer like Claudio. He's not like Neil Peart. So if everybody's really out there, and I'm not like Eddie Van Halen or anything like that. So it kind of works.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is such a thing as too much of a good thing. Otherwise,
too much of everything.
You don't want you guys trampling on each other and overplaying and losing track. You got to play for the song, as the adage goes.
I
serve the song.
Always agreed with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was check out Riot Act.
Yeah. One more. I saw him live, and it was fucking awesome. And I hope people will go and check out the record and catch up to Riot Act. Cool. I was going to say one last thing about just where we were, just one little thing. Mm-hmm. Going in, realizing that you were the only guitar player in this group here. As an old Riot fan,
right,
that my skepticism was underlined, and I was like, how is this gonna, you know what I mean? I was scared as a fan because I wanted to dive right in and go, oh my God, fucking, real rock and roll again. And it was that, but I was just knowing that it was just you. I was like, oh, well, I wonder, you know what I mean? It was just like, I stumbled for a second. Just
something that thought it was in my head too.
Wow.
It really, believe me, I came from a two guitar, right? So I knew.
Yeah.
Sure. I knew, but it was, like I said, there was no point in trying to recreate what was, so it's like the combination of people it had a sound. We had a sound. It was different. Wasn't Riot, but it was different and had the energy and And that's, I said, hey, hopefully, the fans will like it. We like the way we sounded. The thought was there of getting another guitar player. It pops up every once in a while, because you have the harmonies and everything like that.
Yeah.
Right.
But it kind of worked because we did that Raven tour, and everybody just loved it. So the reaction was phenomenal.
Yeah. And you can't argue with that. That's important. Just
Right.
you gotta
Yeah,
remember
I mean, if
that.
it was like, oh, these guys are lame, hang it up, then we wouldn't be talking here right now, probably.
Yeah. Lukewarm reaction is always gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. So just for clarity, the album is called Closer to the Flame. Is that
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Riot Act, Closer to the Flame. Go check that out. It is good stuff. I haven't seen you live, but I listened to the record, and you certainly haven't tarnished your legacy. Let's put it that way. It's good
Thank
stuff.
you very much.
And you're surrounded by great players for sure.
Yes, definitely. Right.